Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. Sorry about the delay in getting on the air. There was a bit of an unavoidable situation today, but we are here to bring you an update on this shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia, where 5 soldiers have been shot and the shooter is in custody. Don't have a lot of details on this incident yet, but here is what the Fort Stewart actually posted. Fort Stewart says, right here, 5 soldiers were shot today in an active shooter incident in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. All soldiers were treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. There is no active threat to the community. Law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting in the 2nd ABCT complex at 10:56 a.m. The shooter was apprehended at 11:35 a.m. The shooter was apprehended actually about an hour and 15 minutes ago. The installation was locked down at 11:04 a.m. and Fort Stewart lifted the lockdown of the main cantonment area at 12:10 a.m. 2nd ABCT complex is still locked down. Emergency medical personnel were dispatched to treat the wounded at 11:09 a.m. The incident remains under investigation and no additional information will be released until the investigation is complete. So I'm going to turn a scanner on. I don't know how much we're going to hear on the scanner now that the shooter is in custody, and it's on a base anyway. But I will turn it on and at least briefly and see. I don't want it to get away the broadcast. So we'll turn the scanner on, and but I'm going to try to get you updates on what exactly happened in this situation.
If you're still in the emergency room, John, check the outside. We'll check the front.
Certainly hope that the 5 soldiers survive and recover quickly.
Patient, non-emergent.
So give me a second here. Let me just, I got to throw up on the screen that we're using.
That's what we were trying to get from them.
Okay, let me do this. Let me put this on the screen. So we'll put that there. And then I'm going to move, I'm actually going to do this. If you give me 2 seconds here, what I want to do is take this, put it down here. Oh, here's what I'll do.
Control, clear for patrol.
10-4-21.
All right, give me one moment here, guys.
41 Central 38.
If I get any video, I will show it to you. Any live video, that could happen. But give me one moment here. Let me just kind of get this set up the way I...
You're on a blue Hyundai Elantra. This way's Georgia. Sam Henry David 4612.
1253.
Here's what we're going to
HPD.
Can you send me over a picture of that warrant, please?
do. Okay, that works.
10-4.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Oops, that's obviously not correct. I'm going to take this, put this right here, put that up there. And let me just look around and see what I can grab for you guys. I'm not aware there's been a press conference yet.
CRN 2990, 2990.
10-4, thank you. Stand for.
10-4 clear.
I will give you a little background here too. Associated Press says this base is located about 40 miles southwest of Savannah, Georgia. It is the largest Army post east of the Mississippi River. It is home to thousands of soldiers assigned to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division and family members. Again, the shooter is in custody. Also, as Tom Winter points out from NBC News, we don't know if the shooter is one of the people shot.
Central 272. Yes, I am.
So, not a lot of details at
reopened
this
walk-in
point.
at the PD. It's a reference to a theft that occurred at 538 each mile, so they're going to be at the PD. 10-4, can you show me 23? 10-4.
Hang on one moment.
Yes, sir.
I'm checking a couple things.
bringing in the serial number for her 32.
10-4, I've got it in front of me. I'm putting the supplement in now for you. I'll enter it in GCIC.
Appreciate it.
Of course. 6.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up a couple things here because right now we don't have much information.
And if not, you'll get paid.
So is this some kind of, we don't know what the situation here. Did the shooter target the people shot? Was this some sort of politically motivated attack? Was it a domestic situation? Did the shooter have some kind of mental illness or something? I mean, we can talk about all these different scenarios, but we just don't know right now what happened with the shooting, what the circumstances are. Give me one moment here. So we're trying to get some more information here on this.
10-4.
Give me 1 sec. Thanks for your patience.
93 Central, 23 LCJ.
10-4, 1257.
Okay, that's what I want to do. What you see on the screen is the latest that I'm hearing so far. Let me just read it again.
941 Central, Stat 7.
5 soldiers shot, an active shooter incident. 5 soldiers were shot today in an active shooter incident in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area at Fort Stewart in Georgia. All soldiers were treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. We don't know their condition. There is no active threat to the community. Law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team complex in the complex at 10:56 a.m. The shooter was apprehended after about 39 minutes. The installation was locked down at 11:04 a.m. and Fort Stewart lifted the lockdown of the main cantonment area at 12:10 p.m. The 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team Complex is still locked down. Emergency medical personnel were dispatched to treat the wounded soldiers at 11:09 a.m. The incident remains under investigation, and no additional information will be released until the investigation is complete. Now, I don't know. It took 39 minutes to get the shooter into custody, but maybe they were negotiating with the shooter for 39 minutes.
Him and 688 were supposed to coordinate with each other.
The fact that it took 39 minutes for the shooter to be in custody doesn't mean that they didn't know where the shooter was. Maybe they didn't, or maybe they were talking to the shooter through a barricaded door or something. So I don't know the details of that situation either. We also don't know if the shooter has been shot.
41 Central, 38.
Go ahead.
196 East and Haymaker, or Waymaker. on a white Lexus sedan, this place, Tennessee. It's going to be 8746.
1259.
Yeah, they have not posted an update. You can write to me on X if you're hearing new things. At Lookner on X. I'm also checking the. I'm checking different. I'm checking the chat for what people are posting. But again, not a lot of information at this point on the specifics here.
They're going to take 144 to 17 instead of 95, so it's less bumpy. Okay, so 76, Lieutenant Foot Patrol.
Good morning. Van Diver, 107 Van Diver, lot 29. Someone took her wallet. It stole $75 out of it and threw the wallet back in her yard. Needs a report.
Governor Kemp, Brian Kemp.
168,
Hold on.
168.
28 on that launcher that we were looking for. It's Robert King Queen John 76 RKQJ 76 through Florida. The vehicle has been located. The 1028 has been located.
Hang on a second. Let me show you what Governor Kemp said, if I can. It's going to work here. Governor Kemp said, as we remain in close contact with law enforcement on the ground, Marty, the girls, and I are saddened by today's tragedy at Fort Stewart. We are keeping the victims, their families, and all those who answered the call to serve in our hearts and prayers, and we ask that Georgians everywhere do the same. But again, not a lot of details right now on what actually happened. It has not been confirmed who the shooter is.
Possibly might be Gray. We're gonna roll back over to the parking lot where we think it's at and let you know.
One of our viewers said, is the shooter in the military? It doesn't, I mean, this was on a base. This was on an Army base. So the shooter had to get on the Army base somehow. And the shooter was actually in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. But it does not specifically say who the shooter was and whether the shooter was a soldier. No, there is no... Guys, there's not a second shooter. It literally... Well, I mean, according to the base, it says there is no active threat to the community and the shooter was apprehended. That means there's no second shooter. The shooter means one shooter. The shooter is apprehended, no active threat to the community. So, according to the Army itself, there is one shooter. About 10 minutes ago, the Department of Defense reposted this. So the U.S. Department of Defense just reposted literally this statement. The U.S. Army posted this statement. This is the one statement so far.
David, Sam 23.
This is the one statement we have from the Department of Defense and the U.S. Army and the base.
Liberty, ending miles 39.
Let me show you on a map where this is. And I will be checking for different updates. And I mean, eventually I'm sure we'll hear more. Let me just check a couple things here. If you give me 2 seconds. I'll be checking local media as well. The White House press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, said that President Trump has been briefed on the situation and the White House is monitoring it. Checking some local media here.
Central, set 7.
1305.
Nope, nothing over there.
Central, were you in a 27 through Georgia?
That looks good.
0603-01674.
1047.
So again, we're waiting to get more information on the shooting. We don't have conditions of the 5 soldiers who were shot. We don't, you know, I wonder if, I don't even know, I could go back on the scanner and check out the scanner replay. I could check out the scanner replay. I don't know how much we're going to hear. I mean, I haven't heard anyone reporting that they, usually if there's a lot more information on the scanner that came out, somebody would be saying it. But what I'll do is we can go back on the scanner because we know when this happened. This shooter was reported 10:56. So I'm gonna pull up the scanner replay and just see what we can hear.
Vehicle here.
Did they just, somebody said that,
10 on that building, you come out.
That wasn't relevant information. The MPs are out with it.
Hinesville 168.
Yes.
Are we relaying something from the scene?
Negative. Army CID is also out here.
Sounds like they're talking about it right now.
Stand by. Yeah, we're 10-5 in the ambulances from Wayne Army Hospital to Memorial. 503, 688, 380, and 7577 are handling that for the 3 ambulances.
I guess, are they moving patients maybe? They're talking about 3 ambulances. I wonder if they're moving patients from one hospital to another. I'm not sure. What I was going to do is try to find the part on the scanner replay when this was first reported. I might try to do that. I know it might be confusing with. Let me just look around here. Let me just play this. This works.
So, essentially, are you able to tell if there's any ones?
Be right around here.
10-4, it's coming up no once.
This is scanner replay right here.
Really steady.
10-4?
That's not about it. I am replaying the scanner. Seems to be not playing. It's odd. Oh, I wonder if it's been filtered out or something. That's weird. I'm playing the replay of the scanner and I'm not getting volume at the end. I don't know why that is. Is there volume at the beginning? Or am I just not getting volume, period? Something might be, there might be an issue with the actual thing. Yeah, this is a replay. This is a replay of the scanner. So I was trying to play you at the end there. Well, there's not much on that scanner replay. I'll have to go to the next one.
6349.
I have the live scanner on too. It's probably this one. Are there any people deceased? Not yet that we know of. I don't know if it's been deleted. It's this weird thing where I'm trying to play the scanner replay and I'm not really... I feel like there's stuff there, but it's not. We can't hear it. It's kind of odd. It's confusing. Maybe I don't know if it's been hidden or what. All right. Well, the scanner replay, as of right now, I'm not really getting much on it. So.
Central unit.
This is live scanner.
Central units, be on the lookout for a red Ford Ranger 2021, red Ford Ranger, Georgia tag, Edward John Adam 220, EJA 220. A stolen vehicle was forcibly stolen. Last seen on Belfast Keller, headed towards 95. 2021 red Ford Ranger, occupied 2 times, 1 white male, 1 white female. Last seen on Belfast Keller, headed towards 95, Georgia, AJA 220.
I don't know that. I have no information that that's connected to this, by the way, what you just heard on the scanner about a stolen truck. I just tried to listen to the scanner replay, and for whatever reason, and I don't think it's on my end, for whatever reason, the scanner replay that I have access to from this incident, there's no volume on most of it. And what I'll do is I'll just confirm, just to go back, I'll go back to one of them, one of the replays, and there's volume at the beginning, I think. Let me just confirm that. Unless there's something wrong with the player. It's weird. It's like it looks like there's stuff on there, but I can't hear any of it. I'll try to download it too. Can do that. Let's try that. I'm going to try that. I just downloaded one of the scanner replays, and I'll try to play it that way and see if I have any better luck. So that's the beginning play. Oh, it works. Okay, it does work. All right, I got the scanner replay. For some reason, it wasn't playing in the player. I don't know why that is. So the scanner replay does.
Call 1384.
Hold on, that's really way too loud. That's way too loud. I'll fix the volume. I'm gonna just kind of flip through and just see what I can find in there.
You're on a tag channel or something where we can talk to each other.
Stand by. Let me ask.
Scanner replay via broadcastify.com. So trying to find you more information. Again, this is scanner replay, but maybe we can hear someone here. I have to kind of jump around because the normal way I do it isn't working.
8642 is the ACS building on post.
Fort Stewart just called back, advised if you're building 8420, and it's going to be where SRT and units need to make contact. Building 8420 if any units are not clear.
So we're listening to the scanner replay right now.
Be advised, they do have a command center at building 8420.
283. 10-4, sir. Fire department has stopped us at the entrance.
Clear. Med 5, you're taking that respiratory distress?
Yes, ma'am.
10-4. Unrelated to the current issue, 60-year-old female having difficulty breathing, conscious and breathing. Not alone.
No, 57 Central, 23.
10-4.
Guys, it says replay right here. It says replay on the screen. Scanner replay.
10-4. All units responding, just be advised that there are two separate incidents. One happened in building 8420, second one happened in another building, 8642. They're advising the second shooter is currently upstairs in that second building at this time.
So I guess they were reporting initially on the scanner two shooters, but you can. That's the live scanner. But the statement says there was one shooter. So my guess is that might have been incorrect. That was incorrect information on the scanner. Okay, because this is a scanner replay we're listening to that said second shooter, but sometimes often. Regularly with a shooting, there are false reports of a second shooter. But you can see from the statement from the Army, they say the shooter, one shooter.
Okay, can you repeat your traffic?
But this is live scanner. That's the live scanner.
Temporary, thank you.
I know it's confusing. I'll go back and play some of the replay again to see what else we can hear.
91 Central, same traffic.
Temporary.
I'm going to put the replay on again.
276. Go ahead.
This is the replay.
Brigade's on the back side post, right? 10-4 is on second brigade? 10-4, that's what the gate guard told us. .3682, that's a farm. It's off the range road back there.
Christy Noam says, just real quick, Christy Noam, Secretary of Homeland Security, says, I have been briefed on the shooting and that DHS is actively monitoring the situation on the ground, and she says we are praying for the victims and their families.
What instance are you guys staged at?
Careful.
I mean, that's all 5 to the marshals, they'll be 1095. On the left.
Careful.
So the range road is through the main gate all the way out the rear gate, first right.
Onto 144 East.
10-4.
Medic 3 and Medic 1 are staging at the fire scene at the entrance. Medic 3, Medic 4, I apologize. Medic 3, Medic 4. Down lanes to get to 2nd Brigade. Again, enter through gate 4 at 2nd Brigade.
Central, what was that building number?
It's going to be building 8420. That's what command.
1023.
So
Cover.
we are bringing you live coverage. 5 soldiers have been shot at Fort Stewart in Georgia. You can see it on the screen. The shooter is in custody. We don't know the conditions of the 5 soldiers. We don't know if the shooter was shot. We don't know who the shooter is. We don't know if the shooter is a soldier. We don't know why this happened. So we're waiting to get more information. In the attempt to get you more information, I am replaying some of the scanner traffic from when this happened to see what we can hear. There was talk on the scanner of a possible second shooter, but this statement from Fort Stewart says there was one shooter and the shooter was in custody. So I am checking lots of different sources here, and I will certainly bring you more information as soon as I get anything. But right now, that's all we have, basically, is the statement on the screen.
And they set up building 8642 is where the additional shooter is at.
Right, so you're hearing there, they were talking about a second shooter on the scanner. But according to the latest statement from Fort Stewart, there was one shooter.
How many units, HPD units on Fort Stewart? 40. 82 to 80. 140 and higher in the area. 135 Central.
135?
Go on. 151 in the area.
So far.
Tunneling 46 is in the area.
.991 Central.
One for you, Roger, on Fort Stewart.
Just like that squad.
Show me leaving the Juvenile Justice Center, hobby today.
10-4.
Go ahead.
I'm clear all units 10-6, but I have a welfare check in independence place. Just advising. 572, time to
Hold on, emergency calls holding on for access.
Okay, I'm clear. You can show me that 10-8.
6-3 Central.
Go ahead.
Hold all routine calls, any emergency calls, you go and dispatch those. Any routine calls, non-emergency, hold.
I'm clear on 149 traffic, 10-4.
10-4, thank you.
I'm on the phone with her now.
Yes, alright. we're on our way to. Somebody just called me on the phone asking about it. Said it was might be active shooter at school in Fort Stewart. Find out where it's at, what it is, Huntsville, so we can be.
All right, so now on this part of the scanner, you could heard it sound like this is the replay from when the incident was active. A person talked about an active shooter at a school at Fort Stewart. But if you look at the statement, it says that this was in the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area. Again, it is a regular occurrence that initial information on the scanner can turn out incorrect. We have not heard from any kind of authoritative announcement that there was a shooting at a school. What we have heard from Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield was that it was in the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area. Is there a school there? I don't know. But that is where the shooting did occur, and 5 soldiers were shot. That is who was shot. 5 soldiers. That's what we know. Those are the people shot. So again, I'm just clarifying. We're listening to a scanner replay to try to get more information, but you could hear things on the scanner that don't match the statement. Go with the statement. The statement is the latest thing. The scanner is before the statement.
All right, well.
Hello.
What's the best way to get on post to help with that, depending on where it's at?
So I am very unfamiliar with Fort Stewart. However, I am on General Scriven in Maine right here, so I'll be at the gate before y'all get here. Just come in the main entrance on General Scriven, and I'll try to get it.
Sorry, Central.
Clear, LCJ. Are you ready for coach?
Everybody needs to be responding. So if you're not responding, be responding. If you're post 11 trooper.
It's going to be a 04501, stat 5. 708. It's going to be a 120101, stat 5.
It's a little confusing because I have the live scanner on, and once in a while the live scanner is on when the replay is on. On the replay, we just heard them say from the replay, everybody needs to be responding. I think I'll replay that again.
Today.
Go ahead.
I'm clear all units 10-6, I have a welfare check in Independence Place, just advising.
Hold on, emergency calls, holding on for access.
I'm clear.
Go
ahead.
Hold all routine calls, any emergency calls, you wouldn't dispatch those. Any routine calls, non-emergency, hold.
I'm clear on 149 traffic, 10-4.
10-4, thank you.
Clear 52.
1074, I'm on the phone with her now. Good.
Yes, so we're on our way to, somebody just called me on the phone asking about it. So it was we'll be leaving here.
Hold on, we're getting crossover between the live scanner and the replay.
7724052.
That's the live one.
7724.
I just had, just a few minutes ago, one of the Fed guys asked me to block off this parking lot. Do you know of anybody else we can get to come up here?
This is the live scanner. This is live right now on the scanner.
Well, let me work on that for you.
I'm right here to your right.
So on the live scanner, they just said one of the Fed guys asked to block off the parking lot. Look, right now, what we know is what's on the screen. 5 soldiers shot at the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area at Fort Stewart in Georgia. All soldiers treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. There is no active threat to the community.
941
The shooter's in custody. The shooter is in custody. We don't know the conditions of the people who were shot. We don't know if the shooter was shot. We don't know who the shooter was. We don't know why this happened.
To do the clear report for the FTA portion.
We have the live scanner. Breaking news. Breaking news. ABC7 News. ABC7 News. News update. ABC7 News reports that according to a U.S. official, the shooter involved in today's incident was a male soldier. I believe that's ABC7 News. My guess is that it's an ABC News in general report. ABC7 News says, according to a U.S. official, the shooter involved was a male soldier. It's not even in the ABC News article yet. Well, again, ABC7 News Bay Area says, according to a U.S. official, the shooter involved in today's incident was a male soldier. Let me actually put on the screen here. I might throw that up on the screen. Additional info update. ABC7 News is reporting that the shooter at Fort Stewart was a male soldier. Now, if I do this, and then I do this, okay, fine. We have the live scanner on too. We're not hearing much on that. So let me keep looking for updates here for you. I'm checking the chat. You can reach me on X at Lookner. We don't have conditions. We don't have conditions of the people who were shot. We don't have really details on what exactly happened here, specifics. No fatalities. Luis Martinez. Now, this sounds like new information. Luis Martinez, who's a Pentagon reporter with ABC, says no fatalities among the soldiers, and he just posted that. So as of right now, we don't have no deaths reported. I mean, it just says 5 soldiers were shot and moved to the hospital. Again, Luis Martinez from ABC News has just reported no fatalities according to U.S. officials, which is good news. PZ Papazulu says could have been radicalized. Yeah, at this point, I mean, all possibilities are on the table in the sense of we don't have any specifics about the nature of the incident and any kind of motivation at this point. I'm actually going to show you guys on a map, and then I'll put the scanner replay back on where we're talking about here. I have the live scanner on, by the way, but we're not hearing much on that. Let me show you this here.
Central 272. Go ahead for 272. Can I walk in at HPD for civil? 10-4, you can show me 23. Okay.
Fort Stewart, Georgia, about 40 miles south of Savannah, Georgia. About 40 miles southwest of Savannah, Georgia. Fort Stewart shooting. So here is Fort Stewart. Well, I can't do this. Oh, here we are. I can do this. Fort Stewart. So it's a large area there. Fort Stewart. Wynn Community Army Hospital, where they were taken, is right there. See, it says Wynn Army Community Hospital. That's right there. So they didn't have to go far to get there, which is good. And the building is the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. I wonder if I can pull up a map. I bet it won't come up on Google Maps. 2nd Brigade, right here. It says 2nd Brigade. Is this it? I don't know. See, it says 2nd Brigade, but I don't know if that's what they're talking about. But Fort Stewart is in here. This is the live scanner, by the way. Sorry, it's confusing because it has scanner replay, and I was playing the replay of the scanner.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be out at 170 Farnsworth Trail.
Take the word replay off for the moment.
1336.
Give me one moment here. Hold on. Let's just do this. I have a map of Fort Stewart right here, I think. Right here. Here's the map.
225 Oklahoma, circulate, Walnut Lane to 5017 Victor D. Well, that should be traverse.
Can I find? Okay, I was looking on this map from the Army. There's a dental clinic, a golf course, field, Div HQ. Anyways, I'm not going to get hung up on worrying about the exact place. But Marine Homes, Marine Court. I'm going to get you some more information about the base as well. You can see there's a lot of units at Fort Stewart. If you look at Wikipedia here, units assigned to Fort Stewart are, there's all these different, the 1st Brigade Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, which is, I believe, the one, that's the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area is, I believe, where this happened. There's 3rd Division Artillery is there, 3rd Division Sustainment Brigade.
91 Central Traffic Stop.
Good.
Parking lot at Off Mahal, Motors Hall. Georgia tags, Charles Extra King.
According to Wikipedia, Fort Stewart.
4001.
Well, I don't know if that's permanent population. I was trying to find out how many people at a given time are on Fort Stewart base. I mean, Wikipedia says population about 10,000, but that might not include the temporary soldiers.
This number is going to be 29964, repeating 29964.
The statement says that soldiers were taken to Wynn Army Community Hospital, which is right there, for further treatment. I looked on the map, and Wynn Army Community Hospital is right in the area. I don't know if it's technically on the base, but if you look here, if you look up Fort Stewart, there is Wynn Army Community Hospital right there. Looks like it's on the base to me. If it's not, it's right next to it. But there it is, Wynn Army Community Hospital. Oh, did I say Marne? I said Marine and it said Marne maybe? Ooh, sorry. I think I might have said Marine Housing where it said Marne something. Yeah, there's Marne Innovation Center. So thanks for the correction in the chat. I was just pointing out some of the different buildings on the base. All right, let me put the scanner replay back on the air. Let me thank our moderators real quick, by the way. Danny James, Ruth Krafasi, Beth Mythical, Janet B., Cynthia Moon, over there on YouTube. I really appreciate you moderating as we try to get more information here. Sabrina, and also our moderators over on Twitch, like a Big Ball of Yarn Hearsay, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, and certainly Dev. Big thank you. Over on Facebook. Thanks to our moderators real quick. By the way, Danny James, Kay Lowry Body has been moderating over there. Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson, thank you so much. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X, thank you for moderating. Hold on 1 second here.
Central case number.
Case number is going to be 29965, repeating 29965.
All right, let me play you some more of the scanner replay here, and we'll keep looking for more info. Not a lot right now.
The active shooter at school on Fort Stewart.
And as I mentioned on the scanner replay, they talked about a second shooter, but according to the latest information, there's one shooter. On the scanner replay, you could hear somebody say a shooting at a school at Fort Stewart. Well, what we actually know is that 5 soldiers were shot. No children were shot, and the shooting happened in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. So we might hear stuff on the replay of the scanner that does not match the recent statement, the most recent statement. Go with the statement. Stuff on the scanner can be wrong. Initial reports can be wrong.
Oh, it is not real, so we can be on our own.
So far. Double.
Powder 708, what's the best way to get on post help with that? Depending on where it's at.
So I am very unfamiliar with Fort Stewart. However, I am on General Scriven in Maine right here, so I'll be at the gate before y'all get here. Just come in the main entrance on General Scriven, and I'll try to get it.
What you looking for, 41? In this van right here. 41 Central 38.
Yeah.
I think the Fort Stewart, hold your truck. Friedman Grove on a...
I have the live scanner on too.
James David 1635.
That is the live scanner, so I have both on.
Everybody needs to be responding.
Hold on here. This is the replay.
I think the Fort Stewart, hold your truck. Everybody needs to be responding. So if you're not responding, be responding if you're a post-11 trooper.
Hear that? So they said everybody needs to be responding. If you're not responding, be responding. On the replay.
708 Hinesville units. Looks like they've got the base completely blocked. Completely blocked. They've got it shut down, locked down. So if you come in the main gate, they're waving me into oncoming traffic.
Hinesville, do you know the exact location yet?
Numbers instead of locations. They're also advising one shooter is in custody. We'll try to get a hold of Fort Stewart 911, see if they can be more specific.
Again, we're listening to the replay of the scanner.
And also, if you have someone else available that can let 19 know, I'm driving the car. I can't call him right this second. Let him know what's going on at Weir Mount.
708 to Hinesville units. Do not come through the main gate. If you will, it's 2nd Brigade. The easiest way to get to 2nd Brigade is going to be at the curve. Take Old Sunbury. You do not have to go through the base to get to it.
By the way, ABC News now, before I saw ABC 7 News reporting this. Well, ABC News, the whole thing, ABC News, the national news outlet, is saying that it was a male soldier who shot fellow soldiers. That is what ABC News is saying. They're saying it's a male soldier who shot fellow soldiers. Oh, ABC News says 2 of the victims were rushed to Memorial Health University Medical Center in Savannah, which is a level 1 trauma center. Okay? So ABC News says...
91 Central says so.
Temporary.
So again, ABC News says that there were no fatalities reported, but 2 victims were rushed to Memorial Health University Medical Center in Savannah, which is a level 1 trauma center.
Good.
25 was all highway for triangle for temporary tag call 6975760 on a Chevy SUV silver.
Temporary.
All right. We've been. Let me put this. I'm going to put some of the scanner replay back on in a second. Bringing you the latest updates here.
941 Central, 1087.
10-4.
What happened to the shooter, says Jay Luther? The shooter's in custody. We do not know if the shooter was shot. I'm going to put the scanner replay back on right now.
If you're closer to the base, main entrance, if you come in that main entrance, continue straight down the main road until you get to the other gate, and it'll let you out the backside of Fort Stewart, the 2nd Brigade.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the curve. Sunbury.
And when you get to the curve, obviously go towards 144, make a left, and 2nd Brigade's all back there.
Medic 3 Central. Go ahead.
Central, we've been advised to head in to pick up patient up.
299-66.
That's the live scanner. I don't want to confuse people by having both on at once.
Not 94 Central.
I still have the live scanner on because we might hear something
I'll be out
relevant
at
on it.
64 Right Patch Road.
By the way, a quick thank you to
10-4.
CJ Lars, PZ Papa Zulu, Jimmy XX, Inked Patriot, Mary, PZ, Sydney. Oh, thanks, PZ Papa Zulu. I'll check that report out. Also, Ed Weeby, that JTYP, Bama fan, Mark Barnes, Carms, Teixeira 22, Debbie James. Let me check that report out. Somebody mentioned. Also, guy from the 207, Justin D. Winters, Flaps 15, Ma Florida on Twitch, The Sugaro, John Deeds, Donut Catnap, Amelian, thank you.
No, 68 Central.
That's the live scanner. All right, let me check out a couple things.
1934 Salisbury Way.
Then I'll put the replay scan. Should I turn off the live scanner? I mean, at this point, it's kind of getting in the way of the replay. I don't know how much we're going to really hear on the live scanner. Because I can just turn off the live scanner and keep the replay on. I just don't know what we're going to hear on the live scanner at this point. I think I might do that. Well, I'll leave it on for a second, but let me put on the replay.
2-4 clear.
Dispatch me, you're 41.
10-4, we just got a regular alarm at 7560 EB Cooper, 7560 EB Cooper across the SE lane, showing bathroom window and bedroom, and negative contact with keyholder at this time.
This is the scanner replay.
7560.
That's 10-4, 7560.
In route.
2396. You know where the command post is?
10-9.
Do you know where we're going?
10-4, it's on 2nd Brigade. Run out the back gate, back off 144.
Simple.
We're not able to reach the patient at this time. EMF 1, EMF 2, do you need me to contact the hospitals in the area? Do you need me to contact the hospitals in the area?
DER viewer.
I'll start making contact. It just depends on where we're going to be going with patients.
Hold on. DER viewer says crazy that the person got off so many rounds in the combat area. So I don't know. I mean, it says it's the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area, but maybe it was at the housing where, you know, when they say 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area, that could be the area of the base where they live and work and do whatever and practice and everything else. So it doesn't mean it was on a training field. It could have been, for all I know, at housing or at the cafeteria. I don't know the specifics on what the phrase 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area means.
One for the universe at 7. 10-4.
AP says the Army's 2nd Brigade Armored Brigade Combat Team was created in 2016 when the service added more than 200 vehicles to an infantry unit of roughly 4,200 soldiers. The Army has called the unit its most modern land fighting force. Fort Stewart is the largest Army post east of the Mississippi River. It is home to thousands of soldiers and family members.
Show myself at 803 en route to 5645 Highway 196 in Jefferson Animal Company.
That's the live scanner. The fort has 3 schools. The fort has 3 schools with nearly 1,400 students, says Associated Press.
Central Lieutenant.
Central, I'll advise Liberty.
All right, so this is the replay of the scanner.
One 140. The 168-019 is clear.
Highway unit, when you come down Old Sunbury and they got left, you're going to turn into the entrance right here by the Amoco gas station. There's the gate right there. They're going to let you in. 36 Central. What kind of channel did SRT get?
Tech 2. Tech.
See, so right there they're talking about, unsurprisingly, a tactical channel that they were, you know, the active response. You can't hear all the details of that on the scanner. They were on a tactical scanner channel.
Yes, temple.
CNN is also reporting now. CNN is matching ABC's reporting that the shooter was a soldier. Okay? So CNN is reporting that the shooter was a soldier. ABC News has already reported that the shooter was a male soldier. So this is apparently a soldier who shot his fellow soldiers.
I'm on scene on Fort Stewart.
When y'all come down the road, there's a big 3-story building with a green top on it. Turn right before that building. And I'll say that again.
Fort Stewart. 10-4.
5 Central, same time.
10-4.
.145 and 128. Whenever you have a moment, they're requesting that your vehicle be moved.
Know that they're
Gate 1.
okay. 10-4. Gate 4 is also open for you guys to go through.
On 136, I'm all the way back here at the second building.
So I have an update for you guys. I have an update.
Simple, we'll be using a lockout kit on your vehicle out.
So, ABC News had reported that 2 victims were sent to Memorial Health University Medical Center in Savannah, which is about 40 miles away. But they have a level 1 trauma unit there. It's a level 1 trauma center. Because there's a hospital either right on the base or right next to the base, which is Wynn Army Community Hospital. But Wynn Army Community Hospital is in Fort Stewart. So Wynn Army, according to Google, Wynn Army Community Hospital it's at Fort Stewart. Yes, that's from what I'm looking on a military site. It says that as well. But according to 11 Alive, according to WSAV, WSAV is reporting that 3 of the shooting victims were moved from the hospital on the base to Savannah. Okay? So WSAV is reporting that 3 of the 5 victims were moved from the hospital on the base to that hospital in Savannah. So my guess is that suggests they might be more seriously injured. But I'm not positive. Hang on a moment here. Yeah, WSAV says 3 of the 5 victims. Let me actually up that. All right, so I just want to say that again. It's a little confusing. This shooting happened at Fort Stewart, which is about 40 miles from Savannah, Georgia. The victims, the 5 soldiers who were shot, were all taken to an Army base and to a hospital on Fort Stewart, in Fort Stewart, the Wynn Army Community Hospital. But according to WSAV, 3 of the 5 victims have been sent to Memorial Health in Savannah, which is a level 1 trauma center, which is not great news. And we don't know the details on, if the reporting is accurate and this was a soldier who shot other soldiers. Why did this happen? Did the soldier know the other soldiers? Were they targeting specific people? Is there any information about any kind of motive here or not? Where exactly where did this happen? What was going on when it was happening? We haven't heard any of those specifics. Gomi, our viewer, mentioned chain of command. Yeah, no word on whether the ranks of various people were certain people, what positions did the people have in the military, the people involved? Don't know. Was it, Airtight Ski Pole says, was it a terror attack? We know nothing about the motives right now.
Chief Darby on C9 asking for a TAC channel, maybe TAC 4 if we can.
Yeah, so this is a replay of the scanner. I wonder if I should go back.
You're bringing the airbag and the rod. 10-4.
Oh, hey guys. Dan Bongino, the
143, 180.
Dan Bongino of the FBI, Deputy Director of the FBI, said, FBI personnel are responding to the scene at Fort Stewart in Georgia after the apparent shooting. Well, the base said it was a shooting. We will provide any requested resources and or investigative support. Investigative support, I'm sorry. Hang on one second here. What I might do is I should go back and listen. I should reset this scanner replay to earlier. Let me also download. I'd like to get the first part when the report first came in on the scanner about the shooting. So, is this player working yet, or do I have to download it? Let's see. I have a feeling I have to download it. I don't know why this is. Oh, I know why it is. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I figured out what I was doing wrong. All right, hang on a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replay the scanner some more. That was really stupid. I see why it wasn't working before. All right, so let's go replay. Let's find the part of the scanner where it was first came over the scanner. So according to this, that should be around 10:56 a.m. So let me check out the scanner here. I'm going to go right over there and find it on the scanner replay.
149, so can you show me the area of dark circle?
Case number, please.
Hold on.
402 Central. Call me out at the Walkerville Police Department. Reference or matter record report. Can I get case number, please?
Hello. Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart.
That's it.
It'll be building 8420 2nd Brigade, 8420.
I found the part. Sorry, that took me a little while. This is the part where it was first reported around just before 11 a.m. So let's listen to this again.
Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. It'll be building 8420 2nd Brigade, 8420 2nd Brigade, gunshot wound, mutual aid.
So real quick, they said building 8420. Now, I don't know if that's accurate. That might not be accurate information. But, oops. Again, building 8420 is what they identified, 2nd Brigade. I don't want to get caught up on that. I want to give you guys some more of the scanner replay. I have a map of Fort Stewart here from the Army, but I don't want to waste the time of having you watch me go through it. Anyways, you can look it up on a map if you want. So again, they claimed it was Building 8420 of the 2nd Brigade.
Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. It'll be Building 8420 2nd Brigade, 8420 2nd Brigade, gunshot wound, mutual aid.
So we're listening to the scanner replay.
Medic 3 will be en route.
10-4 Rescue 3. There's possibly 5 patients. They have both of their EMS trucks on scene. The scene...
That was really fast. So about 20 seconds after this initial scanner report of the shooting at the base, they said there's possibly 5 patients. And it turns out there are 5 patients. So, I mean, that info came on the scanner real quick.
Possibly 5 patients. They have both of their EMS trucks on scene. The scene is clear. Everything is secure. We don't know who has what. Multiple people injured.
Med 4 Central, you can show us backing up Med 3 on that for now.
Breaking news. CNN says suspected shooter is an Army sergeant. CNN is reporting that the suspected shooter is an Army sergeant. I just saw that. Breaking news. So again, I'm going to say that again. CNN is reporting that the suspected shooter at Fort Stewart is an Army sergeant. Some people, I think, were mentioning that CNN did an update in the chat. Thank you, because I just checked based on that, and they had just reported that. So let me add that to our scanner. Multiple outlets report the shooter was a male soldier. And CNN reports the shooter was an Army sergeant. Wow. Terrible. That has not been confirmed, that CNN report, by the way. I'll put the scanner back on in a second, the replay, but I just want to see if there's any other updates here for you. Oh, hey guys. Hold on a second here. Tommy Tuberville, who is a U.S. Senator from Alabama. Let me show you what he said. Tommy Tuberville posted, U.S. Senator from Alabama, that this is the direct result of the radical left's constant demonization of law enforcement and our military service members. That is from Senator Tommy Tuberville. To be clear, there is no motive reported yet. Multiple outlets say it was a soldier, a male soldier who did this. CNN is reporting it was a sergeant. Reuters' Idris Ali, who actually mentioned this post, he said that according to what Idris Ali with Reuters reported that U.S. officials say it is way too early to be able to determine the cause of the shooting. Anyway, so I have heard no kind of reporting about motive at this point. All right, let's check out some more of the scanner replay. Hang on a second here.
Station 1 there. 10-4. Stand by, I'm landline with Fort Stewart on the 911 call. They have an active shooter on Fort Stewart.
Our viewer DJS says there is more than one sergeant ranking. Yes, in the Army. I'm not an Army expert. They have a page of their rankings. So I don't know. CNN did not report what rank of sergeant this person was. Which type of sergeant. Will there be a press briefing? I don't know. I mean, especially because this happened on an Army base. I don't know if there'll be a press briefing. Elizabeth G says probably a personal issue. That I don't know. But, you know, the person, 5 soldiers were shot. So, you know, it's not a case where, well, I mean, you could imagine a case where like one individual would be targeted or something. But we have 5 shooting victims, 5 soldiers shot. We do not know if one of the 5 is the shooter himself. Anthony heard that there was going to be an update at 3:30. I have not heard that. For what it's worth, after the update on the screen, the only other update from the base officially said that the Fort Stewart Wright Army Airfield and Evans Army Airfield is all clear. For information and updates, monitor social media outlets. Here's some more of the replay of the scanner.
Central back 10-8.
Somewhere.
So
Console 7777, you 10-4.
Well,
one of our viewers mentioned this, that back in 2022, there was a shooting at Fort Stewart in 2022 where a sergeant, I'm looking at an old AP story on this. Back in 2022, a sergeant at Fort Stewart was shot and killed, and that happened in the building complex for the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, which I'm guessing is the same complex as this happened in. And in that incident in 2022, a soldier, Nathan M. Hillman, killed a sergeant. I don't, at the moment, have more details on that. But that was a shooting where one person was shot and killed on the base back in 2022. And that soldier was charged with murder.
Seven oh eight Hinesville 38.
I got it.
General Scriven, E.G. Miles. General Scriven, E.G. Miles. Liberty County is a white Ford F-150. Looks like a Florida temporary. David William Queen 7572. DWQ 75724.
Paper Road. It's going to be a white Nissan Sentra. This place, Georgia. Charles George Nora 5247.
10-4.
WSAV reported about a half hour ago that ambulances arrived at Memorial Health
176, Jim. You can show me out in Maybank Village.
in Savannah.
This ground street.
So we talked about that before. That WSAV said, so the Army said that the victims were transported to a hospital on the base, but then according to WSAV, 3 of the 5 victims were transported to Memorial Health in Savannah, which according to another outlet is a level 1 trauma center. But it was interesting, the scanner, when the scanner initially reported the shooting, about 20 seconds after, they said they had around 5 wounded. So then there was this talk on the scanner a little later that there might be a second shooter, but that turned out to be not the case. So but also, I don't know why it was that the shooter was apprehended at 11:35, about 40 minutes after the shooting report came in. Could they not find the shooter? Were they talking to the shooter through a locked door or something like that? That we don't know.
There's also tonight, that's level.
One of our viewers brought up the possibility of drugs. I mean, everything is on the table right now. Was this person on drugs? Did they have a mental health history? I don't know. I mean, again, it's being widely reported this was a Army soldier, and CNN reports it was an Army sergeant. But right now, not a lot of details.
91 sub.
Contact 503, Central. Contact 503, Central.
Everyone.
Central.
Go ahead.
Lieutenant.
10-4.
The Washington Post says the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team numbers about 4,000 people and is equipped with an array of heavy weapons, including battle tanks. The Washington Post says Fort Stewart has experienced several tragedies this year. 2 soldiers from the same brigade were killed in a training accident near the base in late January.
994 Central. All units at 10-8. Picture complete. Locks have been changed.
Sorry. So in January, according to the Washington Post, 2 soldiers from the same brigade were killed in a training accident near the base when their vehicle rolled into standing water. In March, 4 soldiers died when their armored recovery vehicle fell into a bog in Lithuania. Let me put a different part of the scanner replay on, sorry. This is the scanner replay.
Hello.
Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. It'll be...
So this is, I just kind of rewinded a little bit so we could hear the first couple of minutes. But this is the initial call that came out, and we'll just let you hear some of what was on the scanner. As you hear, they pretty quickly say 5 people they say, I think they say 5 wounded.
It'll be building 8420, gunshot wound. Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. It'll be building 8420 2nd Brigade, 8420 2nd Brigade, gunshot wound, mutual aid.
Medic 3 will be en route.
10-4 Rescue 3. There's possibly 5 patients. They have both of their EMS trucks on scene. The scene is clear. Everything is secure. We don't know who has what. Multiple people injured.
Mid 4 Central, you can show us backing up Mid 3 on that for now.
10-4.
Hey, 5 will be back on Station 1 there. Coverage.
10-4.
What was his motive, one of the viewers asked? We do not know.
I'm with Fort Stewart on the 911 call. They have an active shooter on Fort Stewart.
41 Central 38. Barrington Ferry and 119 on a white F-150. It's going to be Georgia, Romeo Mike Union.
3, is that your starting mileage is 16?
That's correct. 60.
1059, same female, same in the beginning mile the same as the last end.
Go ahead.
The 10 is in the wooded area for Royal Oaks.
40 Central.
Go ahead.
Air Deal, Florida 2892, Edward Mike, Tom Henry, 92, Edward.
I'm clear at this time, thank you.
76 Central 1023. 402 Central.
40 Central 42, we're clearing your traffic. You need a case number for what?
A walk-in at the PD reference a matter record. 68 Central, thank you. 755, I'll be out of the jail reference. You can show me back 10-8.
Trying to go through the scanner replay, see if there's anything else revelatory on here.
I'll be in the parking lot of Sunoco with George Tech, Tom.
S2, Rescue 3, and Rescue 4. Just advise there will be no air transport available if needed. 9955 80 status.
I will. 43. Where are y'all? We're going through Fort Stewart. Is it on the back side of Post? That's correct. It's on Second Brigade compound. Got it. We're cutting through now.
Custody, building 8642, additional shooter not in custody, upstairs of that building.
All right, so that's an interesting thing. Again, one shooter. There was talk on the scanner of 2 shooters, but it turns out there is 1 shooter. So that was a part on the replay where they said additional shooter in custody, but that report on the scanner was at about 11:08 a.m., so that apparently was a false report because according to the base, the shooter was apprehended at 11:35 a.m. Sometimes there's false stuff on the scanner. There's reports they get, it turns out to be false. So,
building 8642, additional shooter not in custody, upstairs of that building.
Oh, they say not in custody.
Building 8642, additional shooter not in custody, upstairs of that building.
So they said shoot it, building 8642. So maybe that's when they say an additional shooter. Maybe that was the actually the 1 shooter. But that building, the building where the shooting was initially was reported as 8420, and then they said additional shooter 8642 not in custody. Maybe that's where the 1 shooter was. I don't know. Sean Morris thinks it's a sleeper agent. We haven't heard any kind of motive or anything. So we'll have to see what information comes out. We've heard nothing about motive. Yes, as one of our viewers, Mary, says, Fox News is saying at 3:30 there's supposed to be an update. Now, I don't know what that update will be. Sometimes in a case like this, they'll say update, and the update is just a statement. So I don't know that we'll get a press conference, especially given that it's on a military base. Yeah, I'm not sure it's I wouldn't be sure it's a press conference. I certainly have covered military-related things before where they just don't do a press conference. I mean, I assume that the Army knows who the shooter is and who the victims are, but none of that has been made public at this point. Very little new information. I'm checking a bunch of different sources. Okay, so NBC News says the Army is going to speak at 3:30 and is expected to answer reporters' questions. Okay, so I'm going to put that in our ticker. An Army update is expected at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Hang on one second here. Hang on one second. Again, 3:30, which is in less than an hour. In 53 minutes, there's supposed to be a press conference from the Army on this incident. Here's some more of that scanner replay, by the way.
10-4, all units respond.
49's en route.
Hello, running well.
Hi, I'm feeling good.
For building 8642, building 8642, additional shooter upstairs of that building.
All right, so again, they've said this on the scanner replay a couple times, additional shooter. I think that's confusion there because there's only one shooter, ultimately, that was reported. But that building 8642 is different than the building where they initially reported the shooting at 8420. So maybe when they say additional shooter, they're talking about the one shooter. By the way, thank you to our moderators who are here, like Ruth Krafasi and Beth Mythical on YouTube, Janet B, Sabrina, thank you. Also, over on Twitch, Hearsay, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah and Surly Dev, Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X, on Facebook, Kay Larry, Body, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson. Thanks so much to all of our moderators. Thank you, Margaret, for the Facebook stars. Valerie Gale Griffin is moderating too. There's supposed to be a press conference with more information in 51 minutes.
You know, that 196 and airport, what you got?
Page 953. There's a car up here, this blue Toyota 4Runner. This is going to be the vehicle that you got a call about.
10-4. What is every 10-8?
10-4.
EMS 2 Central, can you see if Fort Stewart can patch through on a TAC channel or something where we can talk to each other?
Stand by. Let me ask.
CNN says the area. No, we knew this. It happened in an area that houses the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. Yeah, that's what that. Well, that's just what Fort Stewart themselves said. Again, press conference coming up at 3:30 Eastern Time. Very little new information on this right now. The Secretary of the Army posted, Dan Driscoll, and said, "We are praying for the 5 soldiers who were shot this morning at Fort Stewart. The suspect is in custody and an investigation is ongoing. My team remains in close contact with Fort Stewart and is ready to assist with anything they need." What I'm going to do is put this over here, and then I'll say press conference at 3:30 p.m. Oh, so our viewer Sarge's Customs, thanks for your service, Sarge's Customs, by the way, says he was there for 6 years, and he pointed out that on the Fort Stewart map, which I had up here before, if it'll open up. Hang on. Here is so our viewer, who is, again, I'll tell you in a second, he said he was there for 6 years. He pulled up what is the map that the military posted, which I showed you before, but he said that, oops, everything's falling apart here. Was it Sarge's Customs? Is that who messaged me? Sarge's Customs. He pointed out that up here on that map, it says, well, he says he was there. It says second BCT, 2 BCT up here. And he says the Wynn Hospital's right here. So thank you for sending that in. See, it says second BCT. So that's where he says it is, that area. It's interesting that that link seems to be not working. I pulled up that map before, and now when I try to pull it up, I can't. Maybe a lot of people are going to that map, and it doesn't open up anymore. Oh, here it is. Oh, right here. I got it. Sorry, hold on. Here is the map. Where is? What am I doing here? What's happening? Hold on. What is that on? Okay, look. Right here. There it is. Yeah, so here's this map from the military of Fort Stewart, and yeah, second BCT. Oops, I'll make myself disappear. Second BCT. Now, Gallons says, Gallons, our viewer claims this is out of date. This is the map online from the military. Literally, I clicked on a link from the military online, and this is the map. Now maybe they moved it. I don't know. For all I know, they could have moved it on the map, on their map online. It says second BCT here, but maybe it moved. I don't know. Because remember, they said that this was the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. Sarge's Customs says it's the current map. Thank you, Sarge's Customs, for writing it. Press conference coming up at 3:30, guys. A quick thanks to Sean Morris and Jerusalem Prince, Kevin, Sarge's Customs, Slackjaw, Sandy AW, bringing you live updates here, waiting for in 42 minutes, a press conference about what happened. According to CNN, the suspected shooter was arrested in May for driving under the influence. Okay? So CNN reports the suspected shooter at Fort Stewart was arrested in May for driving under the influence. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. That would be 3 months ago. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. Oh, hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. Let's see here. Oh no, that's not anything to show you. William Runner says he was probably getting chaptered out of the Army. Now, I know nothing about that, but that is a question. Is this somebody who, you know, were they having issues in the Army? Was there some sort of action being taken against the person? Was also there some sort of big event recently in their life? Don't know. There has not been a press conference yet. There's supposed to be one in 39 minutes. Also, CNN is reporting that the suspected shooter is 28 years old. That's according to CNN. According to a law enforcement source. So, different outlets have been reporting things, but you know, they have different sources. These different outlets who maybe work in law enforcement, who are leaking stuff. But they're not the only ones who've been reporting different things. But CNN is reporting that the shooter is 28 years old. They also reported he is a sergeant. I'm just checking some other outlets here too. WTOC said 2 of the 5 were taken to a hospital in Savannah, Georgia. WSAV said 3 of the 5 were taken to a hospital in Savannah, Georgia. What is the shooter's name? Gray Hughes Investigates says that has not been reported yet. The name is out there, one of our viewers said. Well, very, very, very regularly when we cover shootings, false names circulate. So I would not, I would take any name floating around with a grain of salt. Thank you, Dr. Evil, by the way. I certainly hope, as I said before, that no fatalities now. Let's hope that continues. Let's hope that all of the soldiers who were shot are okay and that they can recover quickly. Uh, 35 minutes until the press conference. I don't know if the shooter has social media. You know, we don't know who the person is, so that's just not known right now. I'm just checking a bunch of different sources here, trying to get you more. Thank you to Susan Mann, by the way. Thank you, Susan. So, possible again, 3:30 p.m. press conference. I assume we'll hear a bunch more then. Maybe we won't. Maybe at the press conference they'll say something like, "We're still investigating and we can't say anything." You know, maybe we can't say anything about motive, and we can't give you details. So. It has not been confirmed this shooter is male, but that multiple reports say he is. We'll have to see. Raven Knight says it can be an internal matter, so military won't say much. Sean Morris thinks the military won't tell because they don't want to. Thank you, Sean Morris. Well, we're going to be here and bringing you updates on this. We'll have to see what is said. Katrina says, would like to know how the victims are doing. Certainly. I don't have updates for you on that at the moment. The everlasting contrast, our viewer says, pray for the victims, hoping they all heal fast in this time of tragedy. Ryan Minot, our viewer, thinks we will not hear that much at the presser. Sorry, I'm just checking something here. Let's see. I'm sorry I don't have, a lot of active updates right this second. I'm checking a lot of different sources, but I can only bring you updates if there's actually updates being posted and reported on. But waiting for we might have video of the press conference. I'm looking into that right now. I'm looking into that whole video situation. Press conference coming up at 3:30. Okay, hold on. We have CNN says that a spokesperson for Memorial Health says 2 people were transported there. Okay, so we've been hearing reporting about how many of the people shot were transported to Savannah, 40 miles away. Yes. So CNN is reporting that a spokesperson for the hospital in Savannah said at least 2 people were transported there. Also, a member of the Georgia House of Representatives told CNN that 2 of the 5 people were transported to the medical center, which is a level 1 trauma center. One outlet said 3 people. So I'm going to say multiple outlets, multiple reports say at least 2 of the victims were transported. Multiple reports say at least 2 of the victims were transported to Memorial Health University Medical Center in Savannah, a level 1 trauma center. Oh, the audio cut out? Hello, testing, audio? Was there an audio problem? A bunch of people are saying the audio wasn't a problem for them. Anyways, to repeat, multiple reports say at least, and apparently a spokesperson for the hospital, according to CNN, said at least 2 people were transported to the level 1 trauma center, Memorial Health Hospital in Savannah. A bunch of people are saying the audio is fine and didn't cut out at all. So maybe there was a brief thing somewhere. Yeah, if you're having a refresh, if you're having an issue. Yeah, if you're having an issue, refresh the stream. By the way, thanks to Only Here for Music over there on Twitch. And Who Shot JR and Beautiful Profanity and Guy from the 207. And also, our viewer NK Curl said they heard something about this. I'll have to look that up, NK Curl, myself and see what is being said. Fox News is also reporting this was an Army sergeant. Okay, so multiple outlets, Fox and CNN, both say this was an Army sergeant who was the shooter. Thank you, Irish Sweetness, by the way. Thank you, Irish Sweetness. Hang on a moment here. I'm keeping my eye out. 25 minutes till the press conference. So if nothing else, we should be hearing more at the press conference. Are all the soldiers going to be okay, says Jojo I am? I hope so, but that is not information I have. Breaking news. Breaking news. We have an ID. NBC News reports the ID of the shooter. NBC News says the shooter is Cornelius Radford. That is from NBC News. Breaking news. I'm going to say that again. Hang on. Cornelius Radford, and he has prior ties to Florida. So let me repeat this for you. NBC News reports the shooter is Q-U-O-R-N-E-L-I-U-S Radford. And they're saying he has ties to Florida. I put the name, according to NBC News, I put the name of the spelling in the ticker. It's Cornelius Radford, a man with prior ties to Florida. So we'll see if other outlets say that as well. There it is on the bottom of the screen right now. Cornelius Radford. Again, if you're having an audio issue, try refreshing the stream. Thank you, Jason Bewley, by the way. Shig Shug says, was this politically motivated? We do not have any information on the motivation right now. There is a press conference that's supposed to be at 3:30. So we're bringing you live coverage here, bringing you the latest updates. I have no updates on the wounded. I have no updates on anything. I'm letting you know when I have any updates. But there is supposed to be a press conference in supposedly a press conference in 18 minutes. Supposedly. I'm keeping an eye out. Let me just check something here. Oh, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. Give me 1 second here, guys. Just give me 1 second. Thanks for your patience. Let me try this. Hang on, I just got to do something real quick here. 1 moment. I might be able to get this press conference for you. I'm not sure yet. We have to see. It's coming up in about 15 minutes. But I need to do something real quick. Hold on. Sorry, I just realized this. What is going on here? Stop it. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Why is that saying that? Okay. I see. Okay. Press conference in 15 minutes. Some viewers are claiming that they found a mugshot of this person. I have not seen it. I'm not going to show it because even if I saw a picture, I couldn't control the... I couldn't confirm whether it's legit. So we're waiting to hear more in about 15 minutes. Yeah, so some viewers have sent me what they claim is a mugshot of him. I don't know if it's the same person. If it, I don't, you know, I'm not going to start showing that right now when I can't confirm that. But we are waiting. Yeah, PZ Papa Zulu. Thank you. Yes, NBC said ties to Florida. CNN had reported that that the shooter had gotten driving under the influence in May. AZ Intel posted a mugshot. I'll post a link to the purported mugshot in the chat. That is a purported mugshot from AZ Intel. Thanks for mentioning it in the chat. I don't even know if, media is reporting his name. I don't know if that name will be confirmed in the press conference. So we are waiting to hear more in about 10 minutes from the Army about this incident. 5 soldiers shot, reportedly a soldier, reportedly a sergeant, I don't know if that's true, shot other soldiers at Fort Stewart in Georgia. No fatalities. But we don't have a lot of details on this. Yes, we are live. Did the shooter, have any kind of manifesto or tell anybody they might do this or say anything while he was doing this? Did he know the people he shot? We don't know the answers to these questions. We're waiting for more. No, I have no status update on the injuries of the soldiers. At least 2 of them reportedly were transported to Savannah, about 40 miles away, to a level 1 trauma center. By the way, thanks to all of our subscribers over there on Facebook who support the channel, like Robert Rial II, Sharon Klassen Goslin. Thanks Susan Priest Buchner for subscribing and also for the Facebook stars. Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body. Appreciate all of our subscribers over there. Also on Twitch, our subscribers over there. Thanks to all of them, like Wall Street Shaggy. Zilling. Thank you. Zilwunning. Drunk Can't Cook. Matthew Kohai 3. Amalian. And all of our other Twitch subscribers. Only here for music, beautiful profanity. Guy from the 207. Thank you for subscribing. Flaps15. Thanks QBat for the gift sub as well. Thanks QBat on Twitch. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, hold on a second. All right, guys. I think I can get this thing. Let me try something here. Let me see if this works. Let me see if this works. Let me see if this works. Oh, what in the world? Maybe it's not going to work. Well, that doesn't hurt. I was supposed to be able to have access to it, and I can't have access to it right now. So maybe I won't have video. I thought I was going to be able to get it, but it's kind of weird. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Is this going to work? We'll see if this works. We're going to see if this works. Hang on a moment. Is this going to work? Will this work? Wow. Okay, it's going to work. It's going to work. Give me a moment here. I have a bit of an announcement for you guys. I have an announcement. I think it's going to work. Okay, so hold on. Let me get something on the screen. Look at this. No audio yet. I hope we get audio. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. You're seeing on the screen the press conference. I have a special announcement for you.
Yep, Brigadier General John Lubis, J-O-H-N-L-U-B-A-S. He is the commanding general of the 3rd Infantry Division. Sergeant Woods, you good?
Okay.
You're all set up?
So here is how we're seeing this now.
I know we got some folks that are going live at right at 3:30, so we'll hold tight to the timeline. About 5 minutes.
Okay, my announcement is I pay Reuters and AFP for live video. It ain't cheap. I have made a deal with AP. It's a bit of a different deal, but I now have access sometimes to AP videos as well. So basically I just bought this video from AP to show you. I bought it. They are not cheap, but they have nicely agreed to let me work with AP. So that is why you are seeing this live shot, courtesy of WJCL of the press conference. So, spending more to bring you more. Let me just do this. I'm going to say press conference coming up. Hopefully the audio works. So it's good because it'll allow me to bring you more videos. It's spending more money, but it'll allow me to bring you more videos, especially something like this where I don't believe I have access to it any other way. I don't think.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and give my opening comments, and we'll turn it over to General Lubis. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Angel Tomko. That's spelled A-N-G-E-L. Last name is Tomko, T-O-M-K-O. And I'm the spokesperson for the 3rd Infantry Division. Today we're here to discuss the incident that took place earlier today on the north side of Fort Stewart installation at the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team footprint. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to Brigadier General John Lubis. That's spelled J-O-H-N, Lubis, L-U-B-A-S. He's the Commanding General of the 3rd Infantry Division. Brigadier General Lubis will make a statement regarding the incident and take a few brief questions. Before we begin, however, I'd like to go over just a couple things with you. We have limited for questions given that this is an ongoing investigation, and we may not have all the information that we can share, but we will try to be as transparent as possible. We will not release the name of any victims until the next of kin notification has been complete. We will not speculate as to any intentions, motives, or backstories, given that this is an ongoing investigation. When you ask your questions, we ask that you please give your name and the affiliation in case we need to do a follow-up. And it's a little hard to hear, so please speak up so that General Lubis can hear you and that you can hear him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will now turn it over to General Lubis.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us. This morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover. The alleged shooter is in custody. We have reestablished security. I have lifted all lockdown measures on Fort Stewart, and there is currently no threat to the local community. I'd like to recognize and thank our Army law enforcement and medical personnel and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency services for their quick response and support. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties. Our wounded soldiers were initially evacuated to Wynn Army Community Hospital right here on Fort Stewart. All arrived in stable condition, and 3 of the 5 required surgical intervention. 2 have been transported to Memorial Hospital in Savannah, Georgia for additional care. We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team. Sergeant Radford has not previously deployed to combat. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel. Right now, our primary focus is first on caring for our injured soldiers and their families, and also supporting the soldiers of the Spartan Brigade. All of the families of the victims have been notified, and we're wrapping our arms around them and ensuring we provide them all the support that we can. Before I take questions, I want to remind you that this is an ongoing investigation and we're still gathering questions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll now take your questions.
General Lewis with the Coastal News. Can you give us his what unit he was assigned to and how long he served in the Army? If you didn't mention it.
Yeah, he is assigned to one of our sustainment units here in 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Stewart. And I will have to confirm how long he served with us. Yes, sir.
Russ Bynum with the Associated Press. As best you can, knowing so early, can you walk us through where this happened, what happened in the shooting, and were the victims subordinates of the sergeants, or were they people over him in rank?
Yeah, right now it's premature, and we're gathering a lot of the information. What we know is this soldier, the shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. We don't have any reason to believe it had anything to do with a training event. Other than that, I can't state the motivations for this soldier.
We've heard that the shooter may have been from Jacksonville, Florida. Are you able to confirm that? We also heard that he maybe been arrested for DUI recently.
Yeah, at this point, I can't confirm where he's from. We can follow up on that. I do believe he was arrested locally for a DUI. That was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
Robin, now from the current, can you tell us whether or not that was a military weapon or whether this was a personal weapon that the person brought on base?
Yes, ma'am. I can confirm it was not a military weapon, and we believe it was a personal handgun. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm very confident in the security of this installation. We've got a great partnership with local law enforcement. As you can see here at our gates, we have armed guards in protective equipment. This one's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to determine how he was able to get a handgun to his place of duty.
LECOA News for Jack. Has the suspect had any prior disciplinary or behavioral issues on base?
No, ma'am, not that we're aware of. But again, it's early in the investigation, but not that I'm currently aware of. I don't have the details on that, but I know that his soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
And we've got time for one more question.
I know that you can't speak to the motivation, but if this turns out to be some situation where somebody had extremist beliefs or maybe classified as a terrorist attack, I mean, how does that change the basis of response and the basis of investigation moving forward?
Yeah, currently we have no reason to believe any of that is the case. However, we continuously assess the threat environment, both in the immediate area and across our Army and DoD installations, and we will address the threat level accordingly.
Do you have the rank of the shooter?
Yes, sir. He was a sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions, and again, thanks to the local responders and the local community for their help. Thanks, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm going to give you the proper spelling. I'm going to give you the spelling of the assailant. The first name is Cornelius. It's spelled Q-U-O-R-N-E-L-I-U-S. Last name is Radford. R-A-D-F-O-R-D. Radford. He's 28 years old.
And there was some mention he was second logistics. I think did all of that.
Yeah, so he is a automated logistics sergeant, a 92 Alpha with 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. Hey, I'm going to come off the podium now, but if you guys have additional questions that I can help facilitate stuff.
Let's see if the
we have a
feed
whole
keeps
team of
going.
public affairs back here that's here to help.
Could I ask you to just repeat your rank to make sure I got it?
Yes, it's Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you.
Lieutenant, any injuries to Sergeant Radford?
That's unconfirmed.
Okay.
Try to bump up the audio here.
Oh.
Oh, they took the mic away. All right, I'm going to replay that press conference. So what happened is we know 5 were shot. They're all all right. I'll replay that press conference. Hold on a second. I'll replay the press conference for you. But 5 were shot, and all are expected to survive. They were shot by a fellow soldier, and who's a sergeant. And I was sort of dealing with some technical stuff with the stream during, so I didn't catch all the details. He used a personal handgun. He got a personal handgun onto the property. It was not a military handgun. Some soldiers tackled him. I remember that. He's 28 years old. Yes, he has never seen an active duty, as Lego Mike said. So I'm gonna replay this in a second so we can hear the details again and take some comments from you. Really quickly, let me just thank a couple people for your support. I really appreciate your support. PZ Papa Zulu, Sean Morris, Patty Nielsen, Sherry Bertrand, CAC 813, JK Sinar, Amy Helmy, Amy Helmley, Paul Liam, Jerry Kovacs, Tubular Mindwave, Eliza Jane, John Social Media, BJ Martin, Mrs. Meany, Jeff Hubner, Granted Hard, Ruth Kafasi, Jennifer Gold, Chandra. Thank you. So again, we're going to replay that for you so you can see that again and get those details again. Also, Flumpington's over there on Twitch, Matthew Kohai 3 on Twitch, Jim 1231 on Twitch. Thank you. And QBAT as well. All right. Yeah, and by the way, somebody mentioned, they said, well, the AP video is free. No, it's not free. I can't just steal anything from the internet and use it on my channel. So, again, just to the reason I was able to show you that press conference, and I can show you it again, is because I'm pleased to be able to tell you that I've, previously I have paid, and I still do pay, and I really appreciate working with them. I buy live footage from Reuters and AFP, which is not cheap, believe me. But I have recently made a deal with AP such that I have access to certain videos from them. I have to pay for them. I have to buy the individual videos from AP. So this is the first time we've ever done it, and it worked. The sound was off a little bit. I think that was due to the quality of the video. That was an issue with the video itself, not with all AP video. So other videos from them should have better sound. So anyways, I really appreciate your support for the channel because it allows me to do things like that. Okay, that being said, I want to take comments from you guys, but I want to go back and play what we just heard so you can hear what was said and the details, and so I can hear it again. I think I'm just going to go straight to the second speaker because he gave the details. All right, so I'm going to say moments ago. This was moments ago. And also it is soldier shoots 5 other soldiers. Other soldiers at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Oops. That's an army base. And I believe it was said, was it his workplace where the shooting was? The shooter is in custody. Did they say it was his workplace? Again, Hey, good to see you, Rick Hoppy, in the chat, by the way. Good to see Rick Hoppy there. Thank you for watching, Rick. So let me play. This is a replay from moments ago, okay? I'm going to put this on right now for you, courtesy of JCL via Associated Press. And I want to get your comments on this as well. But let's get clear on the facts. So people are saying it was his workplace. Okay, let's go through right here. Here's the replay. Again, the sound is a little iffy on this particular video, but I could hear it. So I'm sorry. I think the sound is in one ear due to some audio issue on the video. So here is the summary of what happened that we just heard from the military.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us. This morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover. The alleged shooter is in custody. We have reestablished security. I have lifted all lockdown measures on Fort Stewart, and there is currently no threat to the local community. I'd like to recognize and thank our Army law enforcement and medical personnel and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency services for their quick response and support. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties. Our wounded soldiers were initially evacuated to Wynn Army Community Hospital right here on Fort Stewart. All arrived in stable condition, and 3 of the 5 required surgical intervention. 2 have been transported to Memorial Hospital in Savannah, Georgia for additional care. We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team. Sergeant Radford has not previously deployed to combat. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel. Right now, our primary focus is first on caring for our injured soldiers and their families, and also supporting the soldiers of the Spartan Brigade. All of the families of the victims have been notified, and we're wrapping our arms around them and ensuring we provide them all the support that we can. Before I take questions, I want to remind you that this is an ongoing investigation and we're still gathering questions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll now take your questions.
General Lewis with the Coastal News. Can you give us what unit he was assigned to and how long he served in the Army? If you didn't mention that.
Yeah, he is assigned to one of our sustainment units here in 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Stewart, and I will have to confirm how long he served with us. Yes, sir.
Russ Bynum with the Associated Press. As best you can, knowing it's so early, can you walk us through where this happened, what happened in the shooting, and were the victims subordinates of the sergeants, or were they people over him in rank?
Yeah, right now it's premature, and we're gathering a lot of the information. What we know is this soldier, the shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. We don't have any reason to believe it had anything to do with a training event. Other than that, I can't state the motivations for this soldier.
We've heard that the shooter may have been from Jacksonville, Florida. Are you able to confirm that? We also heard that he maybe been arrested for DUI recently.
Yeah, at this point, I can't confirm where he's from. We can follow up on that. I do believe he was arrested locally for a DUI. That was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
Robin, now from the current, can you tell us whether or not that was a military weapon or whether this was a personal weapon that the person brought on base?
Yes, ma'am. I can confirm it was not a military weapon, and we believe it was a personal handgun. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm very confident in the security of this installation. We've got a great partnership with local law enforcement. As you can see here at our gates, we have armed guards in protective equipment. This one's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to determine how he was able to get a handgun to his place of duty.
LCOA News for Jack. Has the suspect had any prior disciplinary or behavioral issues on base?
No, ma'am, not that we're aware of. But again, it's early in the investigation, but not that I'm currently aware of. I don't have the details on that, but I know that his soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
And we've got time for one more question.
I know that you can't speak to the motivation, but if this turns out to be some situation where somebody had extremist beliefs or maybe classified as a terrorist attack, how does that change the basis of response or the basis of investigation?
Yeah, currently we have no reason to believe any of that is the case. However, we continuously assess the threat environment, both in the immediate area and across our Army and DoD installations.
I want to replay that again because he was asked about it being, what if they find out it was a terror attack? And he said they have no reason to believe that was the case. So let me just listen to that question again.
The shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
And we've got time for one more question.
I know that you can't speak to the motivation, but if this turns out to be some situation where somebody had extremist beliefs or maybe classified as a terrorist attack, how does that change the basis of response or the basis of investigation?
Yeah, currently we have no reason to believe any of that is the case. However, we continuously assess the threat environment, both in the immediate area and across our Army and DoD installations, and we will address the threat level accordingly. Yes, sir. He was a sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions, and again, thanks to the local responders and the local community for their help. Thanks, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm going to give you the proper spelling. I'm going to give you the spelling of the assailant. The first name is Cornelius. It's spelled Q-U-O-R-N-E-L-I-U-S. Last name is Radford. R-A-D-F-O-R-D. Radford. He's 28 years old.
Okay, so I think that's important. I missed that the first time through. The Army was asked if there's a question about what if it turns out the shooter had extremist beliefs and it was a terror attack. And I think it's a brigadier general, the person speaking at the press conference said, we currently have no reason to think that this was a terrorist attack or that the person had extremist beliefs. Okay, so I want to throw that out there. I thought that was an important part of the press conference, kind of thrown in at the end there. Give me 1 second. So I want to take some comments from you guys. And this was a workplace shooting. At the soldier's workplace, and he shot his coworkers. Here's the spelling of the name right there, Cornelius Radford. That's from the AP article. Also, fellow soldier, Veggies Norway thinks they know a motive if they're saying it's not terrorism. I mean, it's an interesting point. I don't know. I mean, but maybe, you might think that they say that because, or maybe they just say that because they don't have any evidence for it yet. So They didn't say anything about motive. I can't remember if they specifically said that they have no motive or they just weren't they weren't going to address motive. Oh yeah, well I think I'd have to listen to that specifically again. We don't have a motive. A motive has not been publicly said though. He did not have any kind of background of disciplinary issues on the base. I believe it was said that he was arrested for DUI in May. Wasn't that said in the press conference? Wasn't that confirmed? The DWI or DUI in May? Where is that? I'd have to find the actual part where it's talked about. Let me see if I can find. Was it in the Q&A?
To one of our sustainment units here in 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Stewart, and also supporting the soldiers of the 1st. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal. This soldier, the shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed.
Not certain about
Army
motivation.
Investigators, and we believe we'll gain more. No, ma'am, we don't have any reason to believe it had anything to do with a training event. Other than up on that. At this point, I can't confirm where he's from. We can follow up on that. I do believe he was arrested locally for a DUI that was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
Okay, so this is very interesting. They say he was arrested for a DUI apparently in May, and that was not known to the chain of command until today. That's very interesting. The Army said they didn't know he was arrested for DUI until the incident. How did that happen? How would they not know?
At this point, at this point, I can't confirm where he's from. We can follow up on that. I do believe he was arrested locally for a DUI that was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
I mean, that is so odd. Isn't that odd? That he was arrested for a DUI, reportedly in May, and they just found out about it today? Now, maybe that's just the way the notifications work. I mean, I don't know what what local procedures are on this. You'd think. Jim Kaplan thinks it happens more than we know that civilian authorities do not tell the military when they arrest a military member. I guess my point is, you'd think that that's something that the military would want to know about, because it could reflect, they might think it reflects on the person's fitness to be in the military and do certain things. So now maybe that's just the way it is. It's, I would certainly think that's something they'd want to know. Sean says local police don't cooperate with feds. Anyways, I find that very interesting. Now, maybe I will say this. Certainly it's possible that in the military, maybe there's a policy that you're supposed to tell your superiors if you get arrested for something. So that's a whole other issue. And then also, I mean, some of our viewers have been talking about this. Is this because he got the DUI? Was he worried he'd be thrown out of the military or something? I have no idea. I don't know. But again, this was at his workplace, and he shot his coworkers. William Smith believes the Marine Corps has local notifications by local departments by the next day. Did he have, I don't know if that's the case. Tracy Hoy says, did he have mental health issues? I don't believe that came up in the press conference. Yes, this was on the base, as one of our viewers, Ghost Orb, said. He was working on the base. They said he worked in, what was it called? He was an automated logistics sergeant, right? Automated logistics sergeant. And he worked in... Thanks, Allison Hargroves. Allison says, depending on his clearance, either you have continuous monitoring or self-report. What was the phrase they used for the department he worked in? Let's see here. I think it was said right at the beginning when he started speaking, when the Brigadier General started speaking.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Raven Knight said sustainment. Okay, what is that? That's what I want to know. If a soldier works in sustainment, is that like supplies? Support in services, I guess? So, here, look. It's from the U.S. Army. What the Army Sustainment Command does for readiness. The Army Sustainment Command is the face to the field for field and sustainment level maintenance, help improve equipment readiness. Is that what they do? Equipment readiness? Fred E. says sustainment means getting and keeping the units supplied and maintained. Here's another article from the Army Sustainment. They talk about logistics. Hold on a second. Oh, this is also from the military. This is a military document that I found on the web. Department of Defense. Where does it say here? Sustainment is one of 7 joint functions common to joint operations. Sustainment encompasses the provision of logistics and personnel services to maintain and prolong operations, including mission accomplishment and redeployment of the force. It consists of all core logistics capabilities, including supply, maintenance, deployment and distribution, health services, logistics services, engineering and operational contract support, and personal support services such as human resources, financial management, and religious ministry. Well, there's a lot of things that sustainment people do. Allison says they do a ton of stuff. So I don't know specifically what he was working in. He was advanced logistics support. I think I have this right here. Let's see. No, I don't know. So he worked in logistics, I would assume. Wikipedia says military logistics is the discipline of planning and carrying out the movement, supply, and maintenance of military forces. So I don't know specifically what he was doing in that. Always chasing the rain says keeps things running. So I don't know what his workplace was specifically. It could have been a computer job. It could have been repairing things, hands-on. I don't know. But he shot 5 of his co-workers. They're all going to survive. They're all in stable condition. 3 of them needed surgery. 2 of them were transported to the Level 1 Trauma Center. I believe it's Memorial Hospital in Savannah. Rock K9 believes it is ultimately the soldier's responsibility to self-report his DUI to the commanding officer. The party fairy thinks the DUI arrest most likely wasn't due to see a judge until the fall/winter. That I don't know. Oh, and I'm sorry. This was obviously an important point that we haven't really discussed. Thank you, Root, for mentioning this. Root says he would not normally be issued a weapon. That's a good question. But this was not a Army-issued weapon. This was his personal handgun. And they said they were looking into how he got that onto the base, I believe they're saying. I believe that's what's said. This was a personal weapon. Let me show you that part again. If I can pull it up here.
Shortly before 11 shot, did all lockdown measures on. 2 have been transported
during the Q&A.
To one of our sustainment. We know is the soldier. The shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly. Anything to do with a training event? Where he's from, we can follow up on that. It's a military weapon. And
here.
Yes, ma'am. I can confirm it was not a military weapon, and we believe it was a personal handgun. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm very confident in the security of this installation. We've got a great partnership with local law enforcement. As you can see here at our gates, we have armed guards in protective equipment. This one's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to determine how he was able to get a handgun to his place of duty.
So they said they said specifically, we're going to have to determine how he got a handgun, his personal handgun, to his place of duty. I don't know if they normally would allow somebody to bring a handgun on the base. All right, hang on a moment here. I'm just seeing. There's been no official picture posted of him. There's a photo floating around on the internet, which supposedly is a mugshot of him from earlier, from not today. But I'm not aware of an official photo that's been posted of the suspect. Allison Hargroves believes you can have a personal handgun as long as it's registered on the installation, but you can't bring it to your work position on the base. Maybe that's true. I'm not sure. Bubba Sizemore says probably a personal grudge. We don't know about the motive. He shot his coworkers. He shot his coworkers. And some soldiers tackled him. Yeah, I can't show that booking photo that's floating around. I can't show it. When is the next press conference? That I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there'll be a next press conference. Maybe there'll be something where they release a statement in the next couple of days. I appreciate they did a press conference today. I did not know if the military would do a press conference, and so I appreciate that they did come out and actually do a press conference and take questions on this. AP had in their article talked about other acts of violence at military bases. Among the deadliest acts of violence on U.S. military bases was a 2009 attack. A U.S. Army psychiatrist killed 13 people in 2009 in a shooting that left more than 30 wounded at Fort Hood in Texas. In 2013, a defense contract worker and former Navy reservist killed 12 people at Washington Navy Yard. He was killed in a gun battle with police. In 2014, a soldier opened fire on his fellow service members at Fort Hood, killing 3 people and wounding more than a dozen others before the gunman killed himself. In 2019, an aviation student opened fire in a classroom at Naval Air Station Pensacola in Florida, killing 3 people and injuring another dozen, including 2 sheriff's deputies. Just days earlier, a U.S. Navy sailor shot 2 people to death before killing himself at Pearl Harbor, the naval station in Hawaii. So that's just some deadly acts of violence on U.S. military bases in the last, 20 years. Again, the name of the shooter is Cornelius Radford. Maybe what we'll do, by the way, Juliana Martin, our viewer, says, why would the local authorities not notify the military that the person got arrested for DUI? That's scary. I don't know if there's legal reasons they can't. It's a good question. So I don't know why the military was not informed about his DUI that he got apparently several months ago. But maybe there's legal reasons, or maybe there's local regulations that prohibit it. I'm not sure what they're allowed to tell. I don't know if it's something that it's a choice or if it's a legal thing. It's a good question why that didn't happen. Thanks, by the way, to Irene Sebastian Arroyo for subscribing over there on Facebook. And also, he is alive, so the shooter, and they've talked to him, so maybe he said something. I don't know what he said to authorities. Maybe he has told authorities something about why he did this. Cavitate says, if he's caught with DUI outside the base, his chain of command won't know about it right away if he doesn't report it. Oh, by the way, thanks to Allison Hargroves. I appreciate that, Allison. Allison thinks technically you should report it right away, but nothing is finalized until after you are convicted by courts for clearances, military positions. I'd be interested in knowing what the exact procedures are and the why about this. I wish I had that information for you. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. Worker B says so many surprising gaps in the system. And maybe the DUI is not related to what happened today. I just don't know. All right, what I think we should do, Free the People says he was never on active duty. What I think we should do is so I don't know that we're going to get a lot of big updates today. Who knows, though? I'm going to check for more updates, and I'm going to one more time, it's not long, play you what the military said. CNN confirmed the booking photo from From May. They have confirmed that that's a legit photo of him. I'll post a link to it in the chat. But let me see. Did they post it? Let's see. It's, where is it here? I'll post a link in the chat and you can look at his previous booking photo. Yeah, CNN confirmed that it's the, this photo that AZ Intel posted, they posted the same photo and they said it's him. Oh, I might even have access to it. Anyways, I just posted a link in the chat. Okay. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is, oh yeah, he was right. He hadn't served in combat. I'm sorry if I misspoke on this. Yes, as RAS Illusion says, he was active duty. He just wasn't ever deployed to combat. He hadn't served in combat. Right. So let's. What I'm going to do is one more time, just so people can see the full explanation of what happened. It's not very long from the military. I'm going to replay this one more time, and then we'll wrap up. But certainly, you know, thoughts with those 5 soldiers who were shot. I'm glad to hear that they're going to survive. That's good news. So let's just take a look at this one more time. Here is the summary from the military about what happened, and then some questions are answered. So we'll watch this one more time.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us. This morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover. The alleged shooter is in custody. We have reestablished security. I have lifted all lockdown measures on Fort Stewart, and there is currently no threat to the local community. I'd like to recognize and thank our Army law enforcement and medical personnel and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency services for their quick response and support. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties. Our wounded soldiers were initially evacuated to Wynn Army Community Hospital right here on Fort Stewart. All arrived in stable condition, and 3 of the 5 required surgical intervention. 2 have been transported to Memorial Hospital in Savannah, Georgia for additional care. We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford, an automated logistics sergeant assigned to 2nd Brigade Combat Team. Sergeant Radford has not previously deployed to combat. Sergeant Radford has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigation Division and is currently in pretrial confinement, awaiting a charging decision by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel. Right now, our primary focus is first on caring for our injured soldiers and their families, and also supporting the soldiers of the Spartan Brigade. All of the families of the victims have been notified, and we're wrapping our arms around them and ensuring we provide them all the support that we can. Before I take questions, I want to remind you that this is an ongoing investigation and we're still gathering questions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll now take your questions.
General Lewis with the Postal News. Can you give us his, what unit he was assigned to and how long he served in the Army? If you didn't mention it.
Yeah, he is assigned to one of our sustainment units here in 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Stewart. And I will have to confirm how long he served with us. Yes, sir.
Russ Bynum with the Associated Press. As best you can, knowing so early, can you walk us through where this happened, what happened in the shooting, and were the victims
subordinates of the sergeants, or were they people over him in rank?
Yeah, right now it's premature, and we're gathering a lot of the information. What we know is this soldier, the shooting occurred at the soldier's place of work. It did involve his co-workers. We're still not certain about the motivations, but again, he's been interviewed by Army investigators, and we believe we'll gain more information here shortly. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. We don't have any reason to believe it had anything to do with a training event. Other than that, I can't state the motivations for this soldier.
We've heard that the shooter may have been from Jacksonville, Florida. Are you able to confirm that? We also heard that he maybe been arrested for DUI recently.
Yeah, at this point, I can't confirm where he's from. We can follow up on that. I do believe he was arrested locally for a DUI that was unknown to his chain of command until the event occurred, and we started looking into the law enforcement databases.
Robin, from the current, can you tell us whether or not that was a military weapon or whether this was a personal weapon that the person brought on base?
Yes, ma'am. I can confirm it was not a military weapon, and we believe it was a personal handgun. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm very confident in the security of this installation. We've got a great partnership with local law enforcement. As you can see here at our gates, we have armed guards in protective equipment. This one's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to determine how he was able to get a handgun to his place of duty.
LETOA News for Jack, has the suspect had any prior disciplinary or behavioral issues on base?
No, ma'am, not that we're aware of. But again, it's early in the investigation, but not that I'm currently aware of. I don't have the details on that, but I know that his soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the soldier, subdued him, that allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody.
And we've got time for one more question.
I know that you can't speak to the motivation, but if this turns out to be some situation where somebody had extremist beliefs or maybe classified as a terrorist attack, how does that change the basis of response or the basis of investigation moving forward?
Yeah, currently we have no reason to believe any of that is the case. However, we continuously assess the threat environment, both in the immediate area and across our Army and DoD installations, and we will address the threat level accordingly. Yes, sir. He was a sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions, and again, thanks to the local responders and the local community for their help. Thanks, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm going to give you the proper spelling. I'm going to give you the spelling of the assailant. The first name is Cornelius. It's spelled Q-U-O-R-N-E-L-I-U-S. Last name is Radford. R-A-D-F-O-R-D. Radford. He's 28 years old.
And there was some mention he was second logistics.
Okay, so you saw the update there. By the way, some people are mentioning President Trump speaking from the White House. President Trump is going to make an announcement about Apple investing money in the U.S. That is what that's about. The White House has confirmed that that's what he's going to be speaking today about Apple announcing a new investment a new investment commitment in the United States. So, if you haven't heard what his announcement is about, that is what the announcement is about. I think he might be appearing with the head of Apple, but that is what it's about. So, I mean, if it literally starts in 8 minutes, I can show it, but it might start an hour late. So I haven't eaten it all. So, and it's, I might start wrapping things up and then maybe I'd leave it playing if he comes on right on time, but it's not really relevant to this topic. So I think I'm going to start. What I'll do, I'm going to start wrapping it up. If before the end of the stream he starts speaking, maybe I'll just put it on and leave it on. But yeah. Anyways, so it's a different topic though. I don't think I would come on normally to just cover that though. Anyways, so if you want, you can wait around a couple minutes and see if I show it. But I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, I got to eat anyway. So, hey, I do really appreciate you being here for this broadcast. Let's hope those 5 soldiers, again, they're supposed to survive, which is great. And let's hope they can recover fully and quickly. And good job by the other soldiers getting the shooter into custody. So I really appreciate you guys being here for our live coverage today. If you want, subscribe, follow the channel. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda here, Agenda Free TV. So subscribe and follow. And by the way, I owe a couple more thank yous to people, which I'll say in a second. And turn on notifications. You know, I never know when huge news events are going to happen, so I can't tell you in advance when we're going to come on the air. But we have a great notification system. You sign up once, it's free, and then you get sent a notification. And whenever we go live, we do it through Discord. The mods will post the link to sign up to the notifications in the chat. You can find it in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook as well. But make sure you sign up for those notifications. And I will post updates about this and other stories on my X account, which is @Lookner on X. You can follow me over there @LOOKNER for breaking news updates. I also want to shout out our moderators. Oh, before I do that, I also appreciate a bunch of you who have been sending me updates about what you're hearing and posting updates in the chat and letting me read your comments and questions on the air. So thanks for all of your participation in the stream and help with the stream. Thanks so much to all of our moderators. You guys are awesome. They're the reason that we can even have chat rooms, is our awesome moderators. For example, on YouTube, Sabrina, Beth Mythical, Ruth Krafasi, Janet B., Linda Belk, Larry, Misha over there on X, and on Twitch, Big Ball of Yarn, Hearsay, LB Prairie Dawn, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai 3, Surly Dev on Facebook, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Valerie Gale Griffin, Christina Neal, Paul Anderson. Thanks so much for modding over there. Thank you. And thanks everybody for supporting the channel. That's what allows me to do the channel and to buy news footage like I did today. I owe a couple more thank yous to folks. Thank you to Sevenfold 777, PZ Papa Zulu, Hermit Ursatz, and Irish Sweetness, Kerry Poteet, Allison Hargroves, and everybody else I thanked earlier. And on Twitch, Flumpingtons, thanks again for all your support, Flumpingtons, and everybody else I thanked earlier over there. And let's see here. Hang on a moment. Oh, another good way to find out when we're live is follow us on X. Follow us on X @Agenda Free TV. I always post there when we go live, and I post updates about the channel there. Also, we do have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. It's free. It's our Discord chat. It's the same link as the free notifications link, is the link where you can go check out the chat. So check that out on Discord. Thanks so much to our Discord moderators for all you do. And I would suggest if you watch us on YouTube, I would suggest turning on the YouTube notifications. Good way to find out when we're live. But to do that, what you need to do on YouTube is you need to subscribe to the channel and then click on this bell and then choose all notifications. So on YouTube, if you want to get the notifications, subscribe, click the bell, and choose all notifications. And if you are subscribed, make sure you have the bell checked and have chosen all notifications. Okay, I also want to thank our Twitch subscribers who support us over there, like CC, Matthew Kohai 3, and Squishy Squid, Guy from the 207. They all subscribe over there on Twitch. And Wall Street and Shaggy and our other subscribers over there, thank you so much. And our Facebook subscribers, people like Robert Real II, Shannon Davis Hughes, thank you Shannon for modding again, Lisa Perkins, Irene Sebastian Arroyo, Kay Larry Body, Margaret Riley, and all of our other Facebook subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing there. And our YouTube members, people like CAC813, Sydney, Roger Shoemaker, Evelyn in Maine, Eddie C, Megatron, Sergeant Z, Lizzie, Roger Shoemaker, sorry if I'm repeating this, Kimberly Barr, Raven Knight, Pam Turner, and Lizzie, Successive Nows, and all of our other, Joe Hart, and all of our other members as well. And everybody else, thank you for watching the broadcast. People like Aries, Jan Taylor, Ellie Summer, Tracy Hoy. If there's big news later today, we'll come on the air and cover it. So nothing's keeping us from doing another stream. Billy Anderson, thanks for watching. Sarah Smile. And thanks to Retro Dad. Retro Dad, I haven't heard about that. I'll have to check into that. What you just mentioned. Yeah, there's an unconfirmed report I saw online that somebody may have been shot at Naval Station Great Lakes, but I don't know if that's true. There was one account on X that reported on it. And I haven't seen that confirmed. And they claimed that one person got shot there earlier today. But I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere, so I'll have to keep an eye on it. So I just don't know. Anyways. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to wait for the Trump thing. I'm going to wrap up this thing. President Trump is supposed to announce an Apple investment in the U.S. That's what he's speaking about. So I'm not going to cover that right now. I got to get off the air for a bit and eat something. But that is it for right now. I really appreciate you watching. And again, let's hope that those 5 soldiers can recover fully and quickly. So that is it for right now. I really appreciate you tuning in, and thanks to our mods, and we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.